We're counting down the top 10 crops that can turn even small plots into big profits, ranked by earnings per square foot, market demand, and ease of scaling up. From planted and weight hidden gems to lightning-fast indoor harvests, these crops outperform traditional farming in ways most people overlook. Which one redefines what's possible with limited land? Let's start at number 10. Ginseng sits quietly in the forest understory, building value year after year. Wild simulated roots, planted once and left to mature with minimal care, can fetch $600 to $800 per dry pound. Over an acre, that adds up to 200 to 300 pounds, sometimes more than $150,000 after 8 to 12 years. Ginseng is a long-term crop that rewards waiting and low labor. Most of the work comes at the start, planting seeds, marking boundaries, then checking for weeds or deer. State laws require documentation and permits, and careful growers avoid the risks that come with poaching or illegal harvests. For those with patience, ginseng is the original slow-burn payday. Goji berries thrive on small plots, promising a faster path to profit than forest crops. These bright red berries are in high demand for their superfood status, selling dried for $15 to $25 per pound. A mature goji patch, after 3 to 5 years, can deliver between 5,000 and 7,000 pounds per acre, far more than most realize. Nearly all goji berries in the United States are imported, leaving a gap for local growers who can supply fresher or better quality fruit. The catch is that goji plants need steady water and must be dried quickly after harvest, so a reliable irrigation system and a dehydrator are essential for anyone serious about scaling up. Lavender transforms a small field into a multi-product business. 1 acre can yield 10,000 to 12,000 fresh bundles each season, sold as bouquets, dried arrangements, or as the base for essential oils that fetch over $50 per ounce. The same rows attract visitors for you-pick days, with families paying by the armful and workshops that sell out fast. It takes 2 to 3 years for plants to reach peak production, but once established, lavender shrugs off drought and pests. While profits are strong, especially for those who stack products, saturation in some markets keeps it just outside the top tier. Bamboo's reputation in landscaping circles comes down to speed and scarcity. Certain clumping varieties like Fargesia can put on 2 to 3 feet of new growth each week during peak season. That rapid expansion turns nursery pots into gold mines. Potted clumping bamboo regularly sells for $100 to $200 per plant, and demand from landscapers and homeowners often outpaces supply. But there is a catch. Not all bamboo is created equal in the eyes of the law. Running types, known for spreading aggressively, are banned or restricted in dozens of states and cities. Clumping bamboo avoids most of these bans, but growers still need to check local ordinances and secure nursery permits before selling. For those willing to navigate the regulations, bamboo offers a high-ticket, fast turnover crop that stands apart from food farming, with strong returns per square foot. It does require upfront capital and careful compliance. Perennial herbs like chives, thyme, and oregano turn a single planting into years of steady harvests. Chives alone can yield 15,000 to 16,000 pounds per acre, selling wholesale for $4 to $8 per pound. These herbs survive winter, bounce back early in spring, and keep producing with minimal replanting. Many growers stagger their beds, ensuring a continuous supply, just as chefs are looking for the first fresh flavors of the season. Reliable, repeat harvests mean contracts with local restaurants and food distributors, locking in sales long before the main vegetable crops come in. For farmers, this is dependable cash flow, driven by crops that ask for little more than sunlight, water, and a sharp pair of shears. Wasabi's price tag tells its own story. Real Wasabia japonica fetches $70 to $120 per pound wholesale, but almost no one in the global market is actually eating it. More than 90% of what is sold as wasabi is just horseradish dyed green, shipped in bulk from processors in China and the United States. Authentic wasabi is stubbornly difficult to grow. It demands cool, running water, shade, and up to 2 years before harvest. Even then, yields are low, and disease pressure is high. A handful of growers in North America and Japan supply top chefs, often using DNA tests and direct contracts to prove authenticity. For those who master the process, scarcity itself becomes the business model, luxury rooted in technical know-how and patience, not scale. Saffron commands a price that almost defies belief. It sells between $5,000 and $10,000 per pound. That kind of value comes from a process that borders on obsession. Each red stigma must be picked by hand from the Crocus sativus flower, and it takes 150,000 blossoms to yield just 1 kilogram of dried saffron. The harvest window is short, usually just 6 to 8 weeks each fall. Workers move through the fields at dawn, collecting flowers before the sun damages the delicate threads. Drying is just as exacting. Too fast and the flavor vanishes. Too slow and the crop molds. High grades fetch the best price, but every step depends on skilled hands. Even a small backyard plot can produce a few pounds. But labor, not land, sets the ceiling. That is why saffron sits near the top. It offers unmatched value per ounce, but there is a hard limit on how much one farm can produce. Gourmet garlic doesn't compete with supermarket bulbs. It leaves them behind. Specialty varieties like Music, Chestnut Red, and Kishu Nishiki sell for $12 to $18 per pound, while standard grocery garlic is near $1 per pound. On a single acre, yields can reach 10,000 to 12,000 pounds, putting potential revenue between $120,000 and $216,000 for growers who master the market. The difference comes down to branding and direct outreach. Farmers build loyal followings by selling at food festivals, hosting chef tastings, and running limited edition drops on social media. Heirloom bulbs, carefully cured and stored, let growers stagger sales for maximum value. Fresh in summer, cured in fall, seed garlic in winter. Some use chef endorsements to spark bidding wars, while others focus on community-supported agriculture boxes or farmers markets. With a 9-month cycle from planting to harvest, garlic rewards those who treat it as a brand, not a bulk commodity. For the right grower, this is the crop that turns marketing skill into margin. Oyster mushrooms turn empty garages and basements into production lines. By stacking racks from floor to ceiling, growers multiply every square foot, cutting harvest time to just 6 to 8 weeks. At $9 to $11 per pound, a single vertical rack can bring in more than a whole row of tomatoes, and the cycle repeats almost non-stop. But this isn't a set-and-forget crop. Every batch depends on strict control. The substrate must be sterilized, air-filtered, and humidity dialed in with commercial HVAC. Even a tiny slip, a dirty glove, or a spore in the air can wipe out an entire crop. Contamination rates run as high as 30% for new growers, and a bad outbreak can force a total restart. Local demand is strong, with chefs and markets paying premium prices for fresh oysters. But the real winners are those who master the science behind the scenes. For those willing to learn, mushrooms offer fast turnover and high density, but precision is non-negotiable. Microgreens rewrite the rules of farming by shrinking the timeline from months to weeks, and by turning every square foot into a profit engine. These tiny, nutrient-packed greens, think radish, sunflower, pea shoots, and arugula, are harvested just 10 to 21 days after planting. A single 4-ounce clamshell can sell for $3 to $6 at farmers markets or to local chefs, translating to $12 to $24 per pound. The real surprise is how much you can grow in a small space. With dense tray planting, it is possible to harvest 1 to 2 pounds per square foot each month. That means a 1,000 square foot garage or greenhouse can generate $30,000 to $50,000 per month if demand holds steady. The system runs year-round, immune to weather swings and seasonal slowdowns. Growers stagger trays for continuous weekly harvests, locking in repeat buyers who need fresh greens for menus or meal kits. The key is precision, consistent seeding, careful watering, and a quick turnaround from harvest to sale. Those who master the routine find themselves with a crop that pays out faster than anything else in agriculture. For anyone looking to break free from the 9-to-5, microgreens are not just a side hustle. They are the ultimate small-space cash crop, capping the countdown with unmatched speed and profit per square foot. Across all 10 crops, one pattern stands out. Profit follows specialization, not scale. The winners aren't growing more, they are growing smarter. focusing on high-value niches. In today's market, small plots and sharp systems yield freedom. Which crop would you bet on? Let us know in the comments.